the first game of round 15, the Blues versus the Highlanders.
Smooth.
Taking this one out 16-9. That's not a bad outing, really, for the Highlanders.
It's a bad outing for both the Blues and the Highlanders.
Yeah, come on, mate.
No, that was a good outing for the Highlanders, just bad for the Blues.
Fair.
I heard, how about the big one in that one was Paddy Torpolotto broke his arm and just didn't tell the coach until after the game so he could keep playing.
Yeah, what a legend. How good. Excellent. Well, and then we had the next game. We had the Brumbies defeating the Rebels 33-17. Just too much class and power there, I think. But there was some good stuff out of that. How about Carter Gordon chasing down Tommy Wright? You know, you thought Tom Wright jet shoes was away down the sideline. And Carter Gordon was like, absolutely not. He was running him down. That was awesome, I thought.
He's so good, isn't he? So freaking good. Yeah. Imagine him in the Crusaders. He would just be swinging off him every single year, every single week. Anyway, Fijian and Drua got it done 41-17 against the Reds. I'm upset we didn't tip this one because I had the Drua circled as well, but I didn't think they were going to get it done that easily. I think it was a draw at half time as well, and then they just blew them apart in the second half. And then the Hurricanes versus Crusaders 27-26. Again, we were commenting back and forth. First half, it's just way too easy for the Crusaders. They were scoring at will, and then they just decided not to show up in the second half, and Hurricanes just absolutely controlled and dominated the entire match. I just didn't understand what happened in that second half. It was crazy.
Yeah, and then after that, we had the Force losing 19-43, and I think
that was it.
No, that was no other games.
I think that was the weekend. No, look, the Tars had a shocker, and don't take anything away from Moana. They came and really fought hard for their season, but Brumbies going down, Waratahs going down 24-33. You hate to see it for Hoops, but good on Moana.
And it doesn't feel great as starch Waratahs fans coming off 2 losses and going into the finals. But, anyway, it is what it is.
It's basically, it's not a final for us. It's just a warm down match because we know it's the last one. So,
although we say this, by the time we get round to the weekend, we'll be up on the Tars again and be like, the boys can do it. We're going to win. 2023 is our year, But anyway.
There's no one playing. They're all injured. So,
are you getting a call up, Nils?
Yeah, hopefully, mate. That sounds good. That'll be good for the team. Fit right in. Talking points from the round. The Fijian drew a crowd, boys. I mean, going absolutely insane with their team winning, earning themselves a playoff this week, as if it is not on everyone's bucket list, if you're a rugby fan, to now go watch a game of Super Rugby in Fiji with the Fijian Ndrua against anyone. They will just come to play.
I tell you what, I wanted to go this year, but no, next year, whatever it takes, I'm going for one of the games.
I don't care how hard it is financially. Make the bull around happen, and we will turn up.
I think, mate, we would love to go, but we'll be going down to the Brumbies quarterfinals, won't we, Nels? We'll be down at the farm and we'll make the trip over.
This coming weekend?
Yeah, that's the plan. Otherwise, I'd be flying to Fiji for this weekend. How good would it be?
Mate, they're not playing in Fiji this weekend. They're playing in...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. I won't go then. That's it. Depends on what
we shouldn't have told them. Harry just gets a flight over there for the game. He's like, what? What's going on? What do you mean?
Guys, talking points as well. How about Coles versus Taylor? The niggle, I know you've gotten the notes here, Craigs, that the niggle was great. First of all, there is not another player in the world who I hate but respect so much as Dane Coles. Now, the man in his peak reimagined what a hooker can be. Like him on the wing, his turn of pace, his finishing ability was outstanding. He was one of my favourite hookers, but sadly, as he's aged, his game has just turned into being a C word, and that's his entire tactic. Now, I've got to say, arguably, it won them the game. So, of course, he's just going to continue to do it. Like, Cody Taylor lost his cool and then did something stupid, got yellow carded straight afterwards. Dane Coles gives him the send-off, and then that's when the momentum really turned and the Hurricanes took control. But I do like the bit of back and forth, and then they've now spliced it together with them just having a pat and winding each other up after the game like it was nothing. I think surely Cody Taylor's yeah, I'll play it cool, but inside he's like, mate, you are a fucking douchebag.
I'm not gonna lie, reading an article that came out saying the All Blacks hard man. No, I don't buy that as a hard man. That's a guy that has nothing left. the bloke has nothing left on the footy field. He used to be absolutely cracking.
Oh.
Now he goes, I cannot do stuff around the paddock. I'm going to try to aggravate people, and somehow people respect me for it. I think
it's exactly like me trying to play touch footy against young kids now or something, like you're just like, I'm smarter than you. I played this a long time. I know exactly how to push your buttons. I'm just going to wind you up to try and get an advantage. And that's all he does. I agree. I think he's nowhere near his peak as an athlete. At his best, he was one of the best ever. But really, he's just, it's his whole game now, isn't it? It's just diving and whacking people in the head when they're on the floor defenseless. Like, it's not hard, man, Matt. It's disappointing to see that's what his game's become personally.
Mate, think about if you want to feel sorry for someone, feel sorry for the Golden Oldies division that's just about to get John Afoa, who's 39, and Dane Coles, who's 37, coming in. You know what I mean? Just Jesus Christ. But no, he's always been a grub. We called him the grub, Dane Coles. And
we didn't think so. Nelson and I used to always joke that like we didn't get it. We thought Joe Moody was the grub back in the day. But, you know, he's cleaned himself up and he's still playing well. DC's gone backwards. It's no good.
Well, for one, I love it. I'll be honest with you. I think it's the best. As Taylor was walking off, he was pointing at his head just like, mate, I'm living in here rent free, son. See you later.
I love a niggle, but I think his is all for show and absolute bullshit. I
don't buy the hard man. It has nothing to do with the hard man. But
I think it's pathetic,
niggle king, I'll take that. You know what I mean? That's great.
I think it's pathetic. Well, let's move on. I think it's pathetic. I don't even think it's smart or tactical or anything. I think he's
speaking of pathetic. Pathetic is anyone trying to tackle Jimmy Tavatavanaya, particularly going high. I don't know how week in, week out, people go and try to take him high. It's never going to work. The guy is built like a Mack truck. I think even Parisi tried to have a crack up high. The guy has, I think I recorded his tackle bus. I mean, look, this is jumping the gun a little bit with our points, but I mean, he was the fantasy man of the week. I'm giving out his stats. He got
No, don't do it because we're going to spice this up and I'm not doing that editing. How about the actual takeaway from this? Yes, Tavatavanaya was brilliant, but this is the first Moana win of the entire season. How much do we say it's because of the fantastic performance of the Moana, and how much do we say it's just because the Tars just didn't show up and played horrendously? What do you boys think?
It's 50-50. I think Moana did turn up and they were keen and they were fighting for something and had that little bit extra, I think, that they needed. But the Tars not only had a lot of players missing, they had a couple key injuries. A few things started to fall apart for them. That, you know, people in different positions than they used to. I think it definitely goes both ways.
I think it was definitely a case of the rails fell off for the Tars, but the Moana, the boys were on, and they were on for 80 minutes. And it just all kind of clicked for them. You know what I mean? They just really put out probably their best performance of the season, regardless of the Tars. And it would have taken, you know, a full strength Tars team to come away with a win, I think, for that one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought they were unlucky not to beat Fiji last week. They played very well. The Tars were nowhere near it. So I think Tars playing well, it's still doing a good game.
Yep. And last talking point of the round, the Chiefs. Absolutely firing. I mean, they had mass resting, 11 changes, sent the team over to the fortress that is HBF Park. Of course, the Force hadn't lost a game over in Perth. And, mate, they came out absolutely firing the Force across all cylinders. I even thought Remeka Poihipi looked really, really good at 10. We thought, what the hell was going on there? And he hadn't played it since high school. But, mate, it was awesome. It was a great crossfield kick for a try, things like that. How did you guys find that game?
Yeah, good player. Look, fantasy man of the week, Jimmy the Jet, Timothy Tavatavanawai. What do you...
Just straight through the keeper there on Cargie's question, eh?
Yeah,
he's good player.
That's a power move right there. Power move, well done. Credit. Let's move on.
I'm not going to lie. It glitched and I didn't hear. And I'm just like, if he said something, it's probably not that important anyway. Let's move
straight on. You should have just claimed the power move, mate. But all right.